Saturday morning. Jerry coming at you live with my favorite snap-on ratchet. But anyway, I had to tear this whole thing apart to get this fender liner out the way. So I can take this ratchet and get the... I'm gonna flip the camera around. Hold on. So I can get the belt off of here. Yeah, look, there's no room in that wheel well, so you literally have to pull all this crap out the way to get back in there. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. So now what I need to do is I need to start unhooking shit from the alternator. Like, we got a little plug here. Got the plug out. Yep, no problem. So this is what I got going this morning. We're going to try to get the alternator on here because we got the alternator plug. Everything else has been working really good so far. And yeah, that was a pain in the butt down there to get all that stuff out. I didn't want to drag the jack over here and jack the car up. It's a pain in the ass doing that in the dirt. But to me, that's going to be the hard part of this job. The only part I really got to lay on the ground for. I got a bolt like underneath there and up here, right there. So they're kind of easy to get to, I guess. Yeah, now it's just actually the part of taking the alternator off. So I'm about ready to do that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see me or not. Just get a drink. This is some good shit right here, guys. Yeah. I live behind a Dollar General, so they always got them things 2 for $5. But anyways, yeah. So, you know, last weekend we got everything done up here. So basically, when I get the alternator on, I got a wire, one wire for the plug, just an ignition wire. Hopefully one of them are ignition. I'll check them with my motor meter. And then after that, you know, the other wire, because it's only a 2-wire plug, it goes straight to this stud on the other alternator. So we just use one of them to come on with a key. Really, other than that, that's all the wiring, because I've already got this shit done. And I might shorten this today. We got it looped around real big here. Kind of bring it from here just straight up to there. But put a couple of zip ties. Right now, it can't get on that exhaust. Like, it can't fall. But, you know, clean it up a little bit. That's all. Just cleaned up. Anyway, I'm going to get back out the old mini fluke. And you can get these things for like 50 bucks. They're just a mini normal fluke. You don't need a bunch of scientific bullshit. But what I found out is the top wire here, right above my thumbnail, that's constant 12-volt voltage. That would be the sense wire on this alternator. But the bottom wire is only putting out 10-volt flat. With the key on, it puts out 10 volt. It goes off with the key. Obviously, I can't use that wire. So I got to find another ignition wire in the car to run out here to do this. Which kind of gonna suck, you know. But it is what it is, guys. Because obviously, you know, the ignition wire, I don't know what it actually does. If it turns on something in the alt, you know, I'd imagine on this other alt, the battery wire going straight to here would be the sense wire. But I'm not sure. So, more than likely, I'm going to have to run a wire out of the car over to this other alternator. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work. And I got it out. But this bottom bolt was a pain in the butt because it goes way down in here behind the alternator. It was tight as shit. And at first, I didn't get the socket all the way on. And the only combination I could use to get back in through here was my ratchet and a deep well 14 was the right length combination, but it was just so tight. That has to be the factory alternator. Now, if we look here, old, new. That new JS, oh boy, it looks good. Deb picked the color. She wanted that green. There is a size difference. But man, oh man, it looks good. It should look beautiful down in there. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is where this is at. I hope that'll clear up here. I mean, Ryan knows what the shit he's doing. And I believe that, it'll be back in this area here. It should be fine. Like I said, I have full faith that Ryan knows what the shit he's doing, but yeah, it's a little bigger, a lot prettier. I'm gonna try to get her set in there. Like I said, it wasn't terrible to get out. Just that one bolt down at the bottom, it was a pain in the ass. And even though I took the ground off of here, guys, look. I still tape it up. Just cause I like to be safe. I do like to be safe, guys. That's all it is.
No electrocution Saturday.
But it's just, I've never really looked under here. I've changed it all in it once, and that's about it. But I'm gonna try to get this other alt just sit in place down here, and we're gonna check shit out. It's on, guys. I had to do a little shimming right here. I put the bottom bolt in and snugged it. We were just a little off. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, this shit's common when you get into high output alternators, especially something that was custom built that wasn't exactly a case that was made for this car. So, I mean, I've had to do it on my Jeep and other shit. But anyway, typical, just 3 washers. I made sure that they fit in there snug with that bottom bolt snug down. And yeah, we're good to go. This stud's actually clearing, so we're good there. It ain't hitting that. My ground will still go back there. So, alternator's on, guys. At this point, I think I'm gonna crawl underneath the car and get the belt on it, if the belt fits. And then I'll start buttoning up everything up here. So, alternator's on, belt's on. We started up, Deb revved it a couple times. That's where it wanted to ride. If you're wondering why it has a bigger pulley, because this housing wasn't particularly made for this car, and they compensated for how the belt would ride on there. So we actually had it 1 notch over, and when we started it, it immediately went there. So that's kind of where it wants to be. It definitely looks good and lined up. Look at that. So I got to give a big shout out to JS Alternator. I had issues yesterday, and no problem. Talked to me on the phone, helped me out with it. Got me squared away, just little minor stuff. And then today, putting this on, it's Saturday. Ryan ain't even working today, you know. Ryan just works for JS. I hit him up to ask him some questions about how I showed you we had 12 volt at all the battery stuff, and that one ignition turn-on wire on the alternator plug only put out 10. You know, I hit Ryan, asking him about that, and I mean, he replied back and he got me squared away. So I just want to give him a shout out, because there ain't very many companies that will mess with you on a Saturday like that. But anyway, you know, it's his day off and he's still there helping. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. But got the belt on. That's like a bad part. Now I got to put all this damn fender liner bolts back in, and this shit's not fun. I mean, luckily I got all the tools laying there, so I know what I need. Before I had to like dig through tools to find everything that I needed to get it apart. So now it'd just be bolting everything back together and putting them damn push pins back in. So my dog's about to yank his tree. He's trying to yank a tree down. He over there, he running like hell. He saw something. We have to tie him up sometimes right here working on stuff, because he hates pressure washers. He will try to bite the water coming out of a pressure washer and fight it. And he hates like the electric impacts and tools and shit. So anytime I be running my my little ratchet that's battery powered or impact or whatever, he will go nuts trying to kill it. So
can't keep a constant eye, he'll hop a fence.
Yeah, and also if we're not watching him real close and he sees like a squirrel or something over there, he's over the fence and gone. But so we got to chain it, tie his ass up. Anyway, I'll get back to work, guys. literally one of the toughest spots. I had to go in this fuse box to pull a wire for ignition, but I got it. And I had to use one of these add-a-fuse things. And guys, I'm telling you, if you ain't hitting up Temu, you got to hit up Temu. I got this whole pack, and it comes with 5 of the old style like Jangalang takes. And then, oh, damn sunlight. 5 of the new style like this thing takes. But I got this whole pack for like $4 or $5, guys. That's crazy. And it come with a bag of fuses. I mean, you can't beat that. So I literally plugged in an underhood fuse box at one of them to pull my signal. So I got signal. Just gotta tuck this wire here, and I'm just gonna zippy it to that and run it to one of these, the wire that it goes to, which would be this one here and this one here. Oh man, I forgot to put a loop on it and connect it to the alt stud. Damn, I got ahead of myself, guys. Got to pull that back apart. No biggie. Still got the socket on the ratchet to do it. But anyway, just showing y'all whereabouts I'm at with this. I think I am going to shorten this here, just because I don't like it being that long. But when I put the air box back in, this here tucks right here really nicely beside the air box. So I just had that on there to test with my multimeter which fuse came on with the key, so I could tap into it for that ignition wire. Once I get this alternator hooked up, because we know the car starts and the belt runs fine there. I don't tuck on that too much, but we know that it's all working. So I'm just using this right now to test because the alternator ain't hooked up. But anyway, we're getting ready to do that. We're getting close, guys. I mean, it's been, look how much this damn radiator slops.
It doesn't have a thingy on it.
Yeah, it's got the thingy on it. It's just in rubber bushing, see? But anyway, we're getting close. And I did get out with zip ties. Like, I zip tied something, like I zip tied this here, because I don't have the bracket on the off that went here to hold that wiring harness. So I just zip tied it there. But we're getting it, guys. We'll be back. We got Deb zip tying everything out the way. Got the wires all made. We're gonna like zip tie this plug to that so the stock plug's still there and functional. For if we ever get rid of the car, then we can just put the factory alternator back on. Deb rerouted this big 3 wire here around, so we ain't really got to cut it and waste an end. So it's not in the way over there anymore.
It naturally took the slack out.
So yeah, she just kind of routed it to where the slack would be out. And we could still kind of lift it up if we need to, like that, to put the hook this factory battery up if we're in an emergency situation. We got to get everything out the back, and I got to check the C-Max and put the fuse in for it, and then we can kind of see what it does. Man, I think I might have to hook a charger up to that factory C-Max, or that C-Max that I put in here. I think it's only at 15.1, and I don't know if I want to start it, which Jangalang was at 15.1 this morning. I started it, so as long as we let it idle, it should be fine. But I really need to check it and see where it's at. But we getting everything rolling. I'm glad I did the big 3 and everything
Weeks ago?
like last week. So this week, all we really got to do is put the alternator on. That definitely helps. But I'll be back. Hi guys, all that's hooked up. I'm probing there and I'm probing there. We're idling at 15.96, 15.97. I did check the C-Max before we started it. I put the fuse in. The C-Max was right at 15.1-ish. Do we have a check engine light or anything yet?
No.
Holy crap, we don't even have a check engine light yet. Oh, we got to get out here before we get monetized problems. All right, she's gonna close the door, I guess. which we do have that light up there, but that could be hatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me close the hatch just to see.
It went away.
Ha! Wow. So, good God, Nissan, 16 volt, and this bad boy ain't even throwing a check engine light yet. So next I gotta hook up the voltmeter, which is gonna require me to pull the radio and stuff, but we're still at 15.95. So I guess that is successfully installing the JS alternator. And like I said, when I talked to Ryan this morning, he informed me that it had like a 15.8 regulator in it. It's cold. Obviously, I just put it on. So we should get a little voltage drop after it gets nice and warmed up. Right now, we're just letting it run to charge that battery in the back and to make sure the belt's gonna track good there. But so far, so good, guys. Hey, I'll show you again. Like, it seems happy where it's at. Oh, we gotta put the zip tie here, right there. I'll get that now. I laid zip ties here. And if you're wondering why I keep a bunch of 12-inch cutouts, my yard is not concrete. So when I jack that thing up and put jack stands under the front axles, I use those so the jack stand don't sink in the ground. But got my zip tie. I just can't do it one-handed while I'm filming, but I'm just showing you guys, like, you know, everything's working. We're down to 15.94 because it's warming up. But everything seems to be great. We just don't want that getting on anything. And there we go. Everything else seems pretty good. Got the little factory booty over all the wires. So we're still at 15.94. I could get my other voltmeter and see what the battery in the back is, but right now I don't need to. We're just letting it slowly charge up.
He got to build me a box.
We're working on it. That's going to be obviously the next step in here is to build Deb an enclosure. But I do have to get a relay here in a minute. Go back there and wire up the relay. I'm going to use the remote turn-on wire from the head unit to trigger that relay. And that way, because the radio is always on in anything we own. If for nothing else, for background driving noise. So it's just going to be the easiest thing to do. I don't want to tear everything apart and run a whole nother wire back there. So remote turn on is going to be my friend for that. And that way we'll have the voltmeter in the dash that we put in last weekend. So we kind of planned ahead on this build for everything. And guys, if you look down here, just like I was telling you, that ground terminal's tucked away nicely there. It don't matter if it touches metal because it's ground. As long as it ain't touching that post, we're good. So now we're down to 15.92. So it is starting to slowly taper off. It's a little warm. It ain't hot, it's just warm. But that thing's supposedly like a 400 amp, I think they said.
Yeah.
I think they said it was right at 400. So while we got the hatch all opened up, I am gonna go grab one of them DB Drive G7 5Ks and see if it'll fit in there. So I'll be back. But like this one, it'll go. Sit flat, no problem, but that one won't fit. But if I notch this plastic just a hair back to like where my finger's at, so this could slide to there, that'll leave enough room in between them for the RCA connections. The power wires could still come in through the side right here and hit it that's going to be perfect. Because, hold on, I'm going to hand this one to Devin. I will say, these are beautiful amps. I just love the all black with just the G7 logo. But if you look here, it's even pretty much with the top of that. So what I'm going to do, the enclosure is going to come back to like here, you know. So what I'm going to do is when I make the board that fits in here, you know, with this contour here, I'm just going to make a board to cover all that. I'll already have the wires ran in here from the battery. Then I'll put the board in here, but I'm going to cut the board, notch it out around the two amplifiers. And at that point, you'll see like this much of each amp. And then, because the box will come to here, so you'll see like the bottom parts of the amp. I prefer to do this rather than trashing all of this, because it's space I can use and it's lower, and it's just going to work fine. I can hook the amp up, and as long as the RCA is hooked up, I can still get my multimeter in there to set the gains. Once the gains are set, I can hook the speaker wires up, I'm fine. And for that case, I had already had the speaker wires coming in here back to the back side where the terminals on the enclosure will be, and I'm golden. But I would prefer to do it this way, because they'll be like this much open where you can see the amps. Okay, yeah, that'll look cool, no problem there. But they'll get a little air, and if I had to, I could mount a blower fan here at an angle blowing down on it to come across when they get hot. And I got the marine blowers in the house to do that, so I could take advantage of these little areas here for the fan. What, babe? She's over going, them's my cubbies, but it would work. And the wind coming out of the port hitting the tailgate's gonna kind of go back on them. Anyway, I'm gonna hook this voltmeter up and see what this battery's doing. So it's still idling. We're down to 15.78, which is normal with an alternator getting warmed up, which, you know, still almost 15.8. That's set point for charger. But now that Deb's back, I can actually touch the wires in the back, and she can look at that voltmeter and tell me where we're at on the battery. So I'll be back. All right, so no, just turn the knob off. We were at 15.79 on there. I trust that. But when I hook the voltmeter that's in the dash straight to the C-Max back here, it read 15.8. So it charged that battery up pretty quick, which I'm kind of impressed with. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, these old G7s are so like Tiffany. But I take this back in the house. I will say I like these old G7 amps. Basically, they're the same thing as my Hooligan KOs from DS18. Same build house, same everything. And good old Korean. 126 degrees just sitting there idling. Now you gotta keep in mind, if we were moving and the electric fan was on, since the fan comes over to here, it'd blow air on there to help keep that cool. But the fan for the car actually never kicked on.
I expect it to get warm.
But 126 degrees, not terrible at all. Terrible design on these cars though with that sideways engine. Because if you're not moving, they don't get no airflow. And unless the fan kicks on, they don't get shit. I'm just happy the belt's staying on there. A test drive is gonna definitely be a deciding factor on how well that does. But anyway, guys, look at how nice that looks on there. She green, guys. That's a pretty green too. I ain't even gonna lie. But I'm gonna get to work getting this damn relay in here so we have a voltmeter up front. Wore on, can't get right, so we put a new belt on it. Just, you know, preventative stuff, guys. That's all you can do is the preventative stuff. So Deb went to get keys so we can start up, make sure the belt was gonna work. Got that all back together. Volt gauge in the dash is working. So looks like, ooh, jingling. I'm pretty much done for today. Ooh, jingling. But anyway, I'll be back.
So many cuts, there's nothing left to touch.
Guys, look at that. It's been riding at 15.9. We just hit 16. We still don't have a check engine light or anything. So I'm gonna say that's pretty cool. We're currently a couple miles away from the house, and it's gone up good. It's staying there. Temp and everything seems to be good, which lets me know that the belt is doing fine. We had a weird noise at first when we back up and turn, but it all went away. I don't know what that was. It could have been like that splash shield that I put back there acting a little wonky or something. I don't know, but anyway, it's good now. It seems like it. But we're on like that maiden voyage drive. We did, however, get this done, cleaned up all the tools and everything, put them away, and we took Jangalang out for a little bit of wind. I needed it. Man, it knotted my hair so damn bad. I might be able to put a clip or something like that in here, but not much, because you know that copyright thing. So anyway, guys, it's still Saturday evening. Like I said, we're on that maiden test voyage, and it appears to be wanting to stay at that 16 flat, and everything in the car seems to be doing fine. So anyway, yeah, we'll see how it does. I'll give y'all updates, and I'm sure I'm gonna try to find something to do tomorrow, which is Sunday. I'm gonna try to find something to film. So I'll be back with an update how this trip went tomorrow. Anyway, peace out, guys. So it's Sunday. It was cold as shit this morning. It's starting to warm up a little bit, but I don't really know what I could do today. That's the weird thing. Like, I have no clue. So at this point, I'm just like, what the hell? What the hell this is? Huh, I found something laying on my trailer. Anyway, I really don't know what to do today. I don't really feel like doing a whole lot because I don't like cold. And it is starting to warm a little bit. But here's some, look at that. Look at this gap. That's after playing this thing yesterday. Oh. That would be why. Okay. Okay. So I do know what I'm doing today. I have to fix that. At least a little bit, right? So anyway, I was going to talk to you guys. We're having trouble selling the Blazer. Some people might say I want too much for it, but honestly, for what it is, it's worth it. With the built doors, the mids and highs in it and everything, it's worth it. But hey, let's just, you know, get to the point. The wife wants a hearse to build. I kind of don't want a hearse because doors, as you just see, we screw up doors. And by screwing up doors, it is what it is, guys. A hearse is just going to be hard to replace parts on. It ain't like I can go to Pick and Pull and there'll be a lot of them there. I don't want a Cadillac one because I think the North Star engine is going to be one of the worst engines ever made. I want something that's going to be easy to put alternators on. The only hearse that we found, which we can't afford it right now without selling that, is we found a Buick Roadmaster hearse. And hopefully at that point, Buick Roadmaster doors would fit it. You know, I mean, that's going to be a toss-up. But anyway, what I have decided, I was going to put 815s in here. I was going to do a 415 vertical wall on this side, one on that side, and a fourth order. I already, you know, asked some knowledgeable friends that design enclosures. I was guessing on airspace what I thought would be right, and they all, you know, they're like, yeah, that's exactly what you need. Okay, I come out here and start measuring, and I found something. The baffle in that thing's like over 51 inches long. That's usable area. Well, 315s in a row is only like 47 inches, you know, counting the rubber gasket. Huh. So all I got to do is cut the baffle out of that and put another baffle in a little bit higher to raise the airspace in the bottom. Put a slot port in the back, and that bitch is ready to roll. Redo the front port, obviously, but yeah, that's what I found out today. So it's going to hit the show in a couple weeks. Which that's cool. You know, it'll hit that show. And which I think that's the Turn Down for What show. We got it ready for that. And then hopefully between then and the Sundown show, I'm going to have to buy 2 more 15s, which that's costly. I ain't got it. Even working for DS18, it's going to be costly. But I got to buy 2 more 15s and 4 Recons. Because them subs are dual 4, and you already know running 6 15s, you need, at least you need dual 2. So honestly, I could get dual 4s, but running dual 4s, I could run 3 4-ohm loads to each amplifier, like 3 coils to each amp, and be at 133. I just don't think they'll make enough power. So I might as well do it all out the rip. But yeah, that's insane. I didn't even realize, I didn't remember the measurements when I built this thing, that the baffle was that long. So it's like, the enclosure in this thing is way longer than my enclosure in here. It's just narrower and shorter. My enclosure is like tall, because it's a lot taller vehicle inside than that. But for some reason, even though the Jeep looks longer than the Blazer, theoretically it's not. The inside's different. But anyway, yeah, that's the plan. Cut that baffle out, make a new one, move it up. 3 subs in a row, rear slot port, and let that bitch eat. But anyway, I'm going to try to figure out some way to get my door to shut. I think right now, the only thing I can do is put big washers on the screws. And, man, that sucks. If not, I'm going to have to push it shut and ratchet strap it to the stripper pole till I can get the dustings and get it welded. All right, guys, peace out. To the naked eye, it would appear that it's fixed, but the screws aren't long enough. Like, I don't know why Jeep decided, like, hey, we just short-ass screws, you know. Oh, God. And then, coming in here, we're always, it looked like you went there. It just, this dash is so shot. But this little thing, man, it's been smelling up and good in here. It keeps it smelling. You can see how it kind of discolored. Yeah, you can see the discolor ring by my thumbnail. Yeah, that thing is awesome. But anyway, I got my new mids coming for here, which all these are still fine, but we come home yesterday from our little wind therapy session, and I noticed when Deb shut the door, it was gapped like that. I opened it and I looked in here and like, oh, this is good. And I just shut the door back, and yeah, lo and behold, if it wasn't broke. So at this point, I don't know what the shit to do. Honestly, I know what I'm gonna try. Huh. We got the screws in there, so, and see, that is actually shut. If I can go to, it's as shut as it's gonna get.
Right.
Now, I need to come over here. All right, I don't have a light on in the enclosure. Yeah, the enclosure light was off, so get my damn tools out of here. We're just gonna leave it the hell alone until I can get the Dustin shop. And I still have a template in there to make that plate in the glove box. And Dustin has one in his toolbox at the shop. So I need to go see him next Saturday or Friday evening if he's cool with it. And yeah, get this welded up. It sucks, guys, I know, but if you remember, like, the driver door just takes so much more abuse because I normally demo everybody with this side sealed up. But when we built this door, we reinforced the shit out that. And I mean, it's holding solid, you know. The B pillar on this side takes a lot of abuse, but it's holding solid. And all the extra steel we put in here, this side's just really good. It don't flex much at all. But that side over there, we haven't done none of this yet. So, and the only time this side over here takes a lot of abuse is when I roll it up for me to get wind. So, and that's the problem. You know, most people that had demo builds, they either seal the whole passenger side up, both the doors shut, which is fine. Or they, and when they do that, they got to let everybody get in the driver's side and they'll stand outside. That ain't no fun. I want to demo myself like really good. So anyway, I need to do the same shit to this door over here that we did on that other one. Just because I like wind occasionally. Like, that's why I have this thing, so I can get the wind. That's why Deb wants more 215s in there so she can have the wind. So anyway, if one of y'all want the Blazer, y'all better jump on that thing before we rebuild it. And I know I keep talking about selling Jangalang, and I probably would for the right price. Either complete, if you want it complete, I sell it complete after I fix the door. Or if you want it empty, I could sell it that way too. But anyway, I don't know. I really like, Jangalang's notorious. So anyway, guys, that's probably going to be all of the video for this weekend. I mean, I was kind of gung-ho to do something until I found out that I don't have long enough screws to do that. If that door will hold where it's at, I'm going to take that bitch to Dustin's and, yeah, we're just going to, we'll fix it there. All right, guys, peace out. And as always, bass on.